Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the show, whether you're watching, listening here in the United States or across the world. We're grateful to have you with us, whether this is your first episode or you've been with us from the beginning. We want to say welcome and thank you for being here with us. We don't have a show without you, so thank you very much. A little housekeeping, if you can give us thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost, and even pull out your phone, or if you're watching on your phone, you can reach out to maybe 25 or 50 of your contacts and share the Voices for Voices podcast with them. I would greatly appreciate that. Just as you're able to find the Voices for Voices podcast wherever you get your podcast, so will your connections and contacts be able to do the same. We're just, again, so grateful we're on that road to reach and help at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And again, we wouldn't have a show. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you very much for joining us. Uh, Locally, we have been battling wildfire smoke uh, from the Canadian wildfires the last couple of days. Today's a day that, at least thus far, while it is scorching hot, it doesn't seem the air quality index, which they call the AQI for short, is well below where it has been for the last couple of days. So, uh, still want to have caution, being out, not just for, us humans, but, if we have pets, the same thing. They have lungs too, and they can get just as sick and ill as we can as humans with our lungs and having that ash and smoke coming through. So glad to have that out of the way, at least for right now. I was able to get a good workout in, and I just want to give a shout out again to Mark McAdams. Uh, he's really been an inspiration. Uh, while he might not know it, um, he's been an inspiration. Getting to the gym, working out, being a little bit older. I'm 44. I'm not 24 anymore, and uh, seeing the positivity that comes from him and his shows. Uh, it's it's cool. Like in Not like, oh yeah, it's cool. Like it's cool because we never stop learning. We never stop learning. At least I don't, and Mark doesn't either. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him because of the work he's doing, work he has done. He's helping a lot of people. Uh, yeah, he's helping a ton of people. So go check out. I believe he's got his own YouTube channel, his own podcast. It's it's just yeah, it's just neat to see positivity. We have too much negativity in the world, and to see and hear him encourage uh, is is awesome. Like I said, it's had a big impact on me trying to stay focused on getting to the gym, working out, believing in myself. And that's huge. That's huge when if you don't have like a lifting partner. That's how it was for me when I was growing up and in the late teens and 20s. Uh, you'd have a lifting partner, so they would spot you, make sure you wouldn't drop any weight, um, keep you safe, you keep them safe, and I don't have that now. I'm okay with that. Um, so it just means I have to be that extra cautious with what weights I do, and I'm just getting started. I think this is on like week three, so I've got a long ways to go to uh yeah, just a long ways to go. But yeah, thank you, Mark, uh, for all you've done and all you're doing, all the people you're helping, uh, and that includes me, uh, keeping me motivated here. Like I said, even though it's at the outset, it doesn't matter. It's still getting out, getting to the gym, working out, being focused on working out. Don't spend too much time. Be there, have a workout plan, at least in your mind. If you want to write it down, you can do that. Uh, I start doing that and then that stops and then it just kind of goes in my head. So that's also why it helps to have somebody like Mark uh, talk about different muscle groups and uh, and just all the different ways you can get exercise and work those muscles out. Uh, so I wanted to spend a couple minutes here at the outset of this particular episode because again, there's a lot of negativity out there, and to have a person that there's a lot of people, but this is personally something that someone who's affecting positive change for me. And maybe I'm having some of that change positivity for if you're watching or listening. And again, the whole terminology of like we're all in this together, like that's okay. That's that's what how people want to talk. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Uh, we're all in this together until we're not. And that's kind of where I find myself at the gym and that. So yeah, whatever the thing is for you, watch. There's so many different people that have their shows and they're showing how they do things. Some of it's for us, and some of it's like oh that person's that's too much, or I don't know. I don't like those exercises they're doing. So let me find something. And that's the whole deal is find what works for you. Don't find what works for other people. Now, if what works for another person that you come across and that works for you, all the better. And there will be, bits and pieces that you'll pick up. Might not be like every single thing, A through Z. It might just be, one thing here, one thing there, and that's okay. There's no rule about you can only listen to one person, uh, and so yeah, and so that's helped me mentally as well. Uh, Not to say that, well, all the other things are helping me, mentally as well that I've talked about, from the therapy to the inpatient that I had for 5 days in 2017, uh, to medication, you name it. Those have a huge impact on a day-to-day basis. And so we don't want to overlook that because it can kind of get easy to do that if we're doing something that really feels good and we're doing it on a semi-often basis, like working out the gym, if we're able to, it can eat it can be an easy thing to feel like, oh, I don't need to take my medication anymore because I feel fine because I'm going to the gym, I'm doing a workout, and I feel better, so I don't need to take it. And that's not the case. It's just kind of it's like a bonus level or a bonus thing going to the gym. Wow, that may help people uh, not have to be on medication. I'm giving my testimony, with our ministry, Voices for Voices, that it can be an easy thing for me to just stop. Like, all right, yeah, I've been working out for 3 weeks. There's 52 weeks in here. Okay. I've been working out for three. So how do I know that the rest of the weeks of the year I'm going to have those same uplifting, positive feelings? I don't. And that's why we just continue that regimen, with the whatever that may be for you. Again, I share what it is for me. And then just working out the gym. Again, it's just a bonus of helping our body be in a positive mindset for a little bit longer, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's all kind of research and all kind of shows and books and all these different things that can tell us, well, if you do this, then you don't need that. And I'm not one of those people. I'm not saying don't read the books. All I'm saying is when you're dealing with the brain and chemicals inside our mind, inside our body, you got to be very, very careful not to not to think that you know it all, because I thought I knew it all, and I was very, 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 very mistaken. I thought I knew it all, thought I could handle it, and that was not the case. So, you know, it's an individual basis. We're all unique individuals. So, like I said, you got to find what works for you. I just look at the working out as a bonus. So, like I said, if I lift 1 pound 10 times in a certain exercise, great. That's one thing that I didn't do yesterday and I didn't do for the last, oh geez, at least 14 years. And so I'm trying to be just a little bit smarter in how I approach my recovery, not putting there's a terminology of, not putting all your eggs in one basket. And so that would be like you have a basket and you have a bunch of eggs and you put them all in the same basket. And let's say it's the gym basket. Like I'm putting everything into the gym basket. I'm not putting anything into the medication, to the therapy, to the coping mechanisms, none of that. And that's where, again, I'm not a doctor, but I know from my experience, not just with mental health, there's so many other things that we don't want to put everything in one specific area. That's okay. You want to have other areas, right? So I have the things that I was doing before I started working out at the gym, just a short time. Like I said, I just started the gym short time ago. And so I have some eggs in the medication basket, some eggs in the therapy basket, some eggs in, the coping mechanisms, like how to handle situations the best that I can. So I have a few eggs in there. And now I have probably one egg in the working out in the gym basket. See how it's diversified? It's not just one specific area, one specific thing. Um, my diet, I I try to work on that. And so it's another thing, working on our diets, not even a diet, working on what we're eating. Just I don't like that word diet because it sounds like we're restricting, and I don't like that. Uh, and so there's a particular cereal that has certain minerals and that I took that I ate many years ago, and then I started to get all bent out of shape about how much things cost. Because as I've mentioned on other shows, I worked at companies where you come in one day and then you are fired, you're let go, you don't have that job anymore. So the first time I went through that process, that was probably the first trauma, work-related trauma that I went through. I wasn't let go in the restructuring. Other people were, but it was the first time in the work structure that I realized, wow, there's people being walked out of the building. They've been working here for 20, 25, 30 years. And so then I restricted a lot of things. So I stopped spending money on the gym, which was not a good idea because it's helpful. Um, I stopped. So that included, not purchasing protein bars, not um, or get protein shakes at the gym after a workout. Uh, the cereal I was eating, I was like changing all that up so that all those constructs were changing. And now I am trying to get back to the spot of, all right, this is like, and I think the cereal, I'm not giving, we're not sponsored by them, so I'm not going to give them the credit uh, on the show yet. But in the name is, I think something power, and so it gets me in the zone like I was when I was younger, as much as I can. I'm 44 now, and so when I eat that cereal in the morning and then I get ready to go, I'm ready to go to work out. I'm ready to get things done. ready to do it. And so things have kind of come a little bit full circle in that respect. Might not always do that, but I know with this, like the gym is like, especially because it's close. We we as humans, we like convenience, right? We like going to one place and getting as many things as we can. And so some of that has to deal with how close we live to a particular grocery store or market. And so because we're the place that I go to work out at is close, it makes the feeling of not wanting to go sometimes less. So there's less of a feeling of, oh, I don't want to go today. I'm sore and that. And there are days like that. And I do take days off built into my workout schedule, plan, whatever you want to call it. But when you have a place that's close, where it's like, all right, it takes 5 minutes, if that, to go, then it's then that's where the mental part comes in, right? Like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't have to go. No, nobody's forced me to go. Nobody, there's no con contractual I mean, you're right, you got to pay your fees like for going. But as far as, I have to go today, I have to go tomorrow, or whatever the time frame is. Nobody's telling me and like you have to do it today or you have to do it tomorrow. And then there's the times where you're traveling and there might not be I'll say like a full service gym where you have the free weights, you have the cables, you have um, the machines, um, the cardio, the stair climbers, the bikes, the ellipticals, the treadmills, you name it. And so have a basket if you're able to for the gym and put an egg in there, proverbial egg. If you don't like to eat eggs, this has nothing to do with eating. This is a hypothetical here. Like I'm a visual learner. And so that's how I think like, okay, there's these baskets and then there's things. So if it's baseballs, if it's softballs, if it's whatever it is, look at seeing if you're able to put whatever that is. For me, I'm using eggs in my example. I'm starting to put an egg into that gym working out bucket or basket. Could be a bucket too. But don't try not to neglect the other buckets or the other baskets or the other hats, whatever helps you visualize it. Have that diversification. Just as a financial planner or a money manager will tell you, you don't want all your money in one investment because if that one investment goes down to zero, Well, you have zero. Whereas if you have three, four, five different investments, some are going to be up at times, some are going to be down at times. And so that's the thing. Sometimes that, for me, the basket with the eggs with the gym is going to be fuller than others. And other times, the gym basket with the gym eggs is going to be lower than other, like less eggs than others. And all of this is to help us all, not just me, not just you, but everybody in the world. Help us feel better. Help us be more confident. I know I need it. I know I need more confidence. And that's why, again, I'm constantly learning and watching, seeing what works for me or seeing what doesn't work for me and go, I don't like that. That doesn't work for me. Let me try to find something that is similar, does kind of the same thing. And then you always want to rotate things. So thank you for joining us on this episode of the show. If you can give us a thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost. If you're watching on your phone or listening on your phone, if you can pull up 25, 50, 100 of your contacts, connections, and share the Voices for Voices podcast and TV show. I greatly appreciate that. Um, you can find us as well as your contacts and connections can find us wherever you or they get their podcasts. And we are well on our way to reaching and helping at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. It's because of you, because you have demanded more episodes, have demanded more content. And so, country by country, we're adding with our analytics, city by city, province by province, state by state, territory by territory, whatever the breakdown is, we're continuing to add with each additional episode. And from the bottom of my heart and everybody at Voices for Voices, thank you. I knew I always wanted to make a difference and help people, and I didn't know how I was going to be able to do that. And because of you, you've helped shine the light for me, for Voices for Voices, and mythical creatures around the world. So until next time, please let's celebrate all the voices of the world and let's be a voice for not only ourselves, but maybe another person who isn't able to share their voice. And we'll see you on our next episode. And hope you have a great day. If it's warm, really warm where you're at, try to stay cool. If it's really cold where you're at, try to stay warm. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.